Identify your gifts and use them appropriately. Never use them to do petty acts of senseless cruelty. Always use them in order to better the human race, whether you have dark gifts, light gifts, or both. You are asked to always let your motivation be love, whether that be love of yourself for protection or love of others, but let that love be genuine. Hey guys, this is Bird's Eye Tarot. This is Kevin. So I just wanted to do a quick channel message because I tried to do one last night and it didn't really work out so well. I have to move my feet because they are asleep. So I'm gonna get a little comfortable. So first, so there's this collective soul mission that I kind of was transferring to you a few videos ago. And last night, I do want to tell you about what I channeled because I can't be sure that's what's going to come out again. But the Pleaidians, my guides, and I think the Arcturians were telling me that there were two paths that we were supposedly like going to take. Either the left path, which was the one that would be most beneficial to us, which would bring us to love and compassion more quickly, and there would be the right path, which would be more destructive, which would have lives lost, this and that. And this is on a world scale, right? Okay? And this is about war and politics and stuff like that. But now they're saying that due to some event, because things are changing so quickly, that now there is a middle path. The middle path also is not the path that they want us to take. They say that this also will bring violence and destruction, but at the end of the day, each path has its pros and cons, and each path brings us to the same sea. So kind of imagine three different rivers, and one river is very calm and kind of a straight path, straight shot to the sea, and then the other two they're treacherous and they have rapids and this and that, and maybe one has crocodiles and one has rapids. I don't know. So first, let's just do some tarot to see what the guides and the Pleaidians and whichever other high vibrational ETs and entities want to come through to tell us about our collective soul mission. What do we need to know? What are the updates for the collective soul mission? And I will remind you that the collective soul mission was to find ease within ourselves, like me moving my legs. That's even something simple like that, like moving my legs because I was not feeling at ease the way I was sitting. That is just a small component of the mission that we have, because our mission is to find ease within ourselves and to get in touch with our heart centers, okay? To get in touch with love energy. Now, I'm hearing right now that they want us to remember that love energy is about us. If somebody comes at us with an energy that is violent, whether that be with their words or otherwise, then we are not required to respond to them with love. We are responding with love if we defend ourselves, if we protect ourselves. And we are asked to protect ourselves in this moment especially. So if you don't believe in cursing and all that stuff, then that's okay, and that's your path, and you shouldn't do it. But if you do, and you are worried that your curse is going to have a negative effect on you, then the answer is no. Right now, they're saying, no, we need warriors right now. We need warriors of love, and we need warriors of darkness, who are warriors of darkness with the ultimate goal of love and ease, right? It's like some people have talents which are which seem evil, right? Seem dark, but their hearts are not. Their hearts are full of light and full of love, but their talents are of the darkness. And then there are others whose talents are of the light and their hearts are of the light, right? And then there are even people whose hearts are of darkness but their talents are of the light. So they use their light talents for dark purposes. And that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, so you're asked to protect yourself right now. And they are saying that just preemptively protect yourself so you don't have to resort to darkness. But if it comes, then use whatever force is necessary to protect your ease, okay? Because your ease is ultimate. Because whoever is watching this are the ones who are influential enough to cause the viral spread of ease within the collective. Okay, and remember that Buteyko breathing and Feldenkrais are both excellent ways to calm the nervous system permanently at that. If you practice it regularly, you won't have to practice your whole life because they have permanent positive effects on us. So, yes, using those techniques is a great way. Also, meditation, but honestly, if you do the Buteyko and the Feldenkrais first and just practice small meditations at the same time, then later switch to more deep meditations that will actually be more productive for you. So what do we need to know about our collective soul mission? What else do we need to know? We have the Nine of Swords. So there's a lot of anxiety in the collective right now about what's going on in the world, especially in American politics, but I'm sure in other places. I'm getting something about the southern, not South Africa, but the southern part of Africa. There's the southern half. There might be, there's an explosion of anxiety right now. And I do know some things that are happening right there that makes sense for, but I think there's more to come. And not to spread fear, but just to spread awareness. And because the more love and ease we have in our hearts, the less this will affect us and the less this will affect the collective. Okay? So we have the Eight of Wands. All right, so this anxiety might come very suddenly. And last night, this actually same thing came out basically, and it said that while the difficulty will come on suddenly and might be intense, it was the tower last night actually, that what the tower will reveal once it's been destroyed is the sun. The sun came out as well. So it's like a difficult time that reveals a really beautiful time. And I think this is what they're saying the left path is that the reason why it's left and it's not right is because there is this painful part of it, but it is so necessary to destroy the shell of hatred and of anger and of of treating people as if they were scourge. And I mean, that's just unacceptable. It is so unacceptable. And it is not why we are here. Okay? So, the world, yes, the world completion, and about the world itself. So, anxiety is rippling through the world, and we are asked to find ease within ourselves, within our hearts, to expand that heart energy, because it will protect the world. And I know it seems so ridiculous to think that just you or just me could make that kind of influence, but it does. It does. And it's not something that we necessarily see, but we might. If we are very attentive, we might actually see how our own ease energetically infects others. Okay? So, and I say infects because it really is. It's like that kind of invisible and not instantaneous sort of like come up of symptoms, but the symptoms are positive. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands. So again, protecting ourselves, standing our ground in face of this anxiety, knowing that anxiety does not mean that things are actually dangerous. It could. Anxiety does come up when there is actually dangerous things, but dangerous things don't necessarily come up just because there's anxiety, right? So that's another important component. Remember that the anxiety is not itself harmful to you. Page of Swords. So there are some liars up in here, guys. There are some liars, and they are the ones who are trying to cause this panic. I'm almost getting a feeling like it's like there's the leaders, right? There's the emperor sort of people. And the pages are those who are working for them and who are spreading their lies, who are spreading their propaganda, who are spreading their hate, who are spreading their dis-ease, who are spreading their all of that negative energy. And we have to protect against these people. And for the dark workers of the light, I could say, that's what they're saying, the dark workers of the light, you are asked and required to use your powers to attempt to stop these people. Of course, it takes a very long time for most people to develop such power that we could really influence somebody that we don't even know on that level. But if the more you do it, the more it's going to work. And you could even focus on one person. Now, I'm not saying anything about like in person, anything. This is energetic, right? Energetically. And it doesn't mean causing them harm, it just is meaning stop them. Stop them by causing them to have certain feelings about what they're doing, to change their minds about what they're doing, right? So I'm not even saying cursing them. I'm saying using your darkness that you've been gifted with to make them come to the light. Okay? And whatever that way that means. And also not giving up just because you did something, you did a spell, or you meditated and you tried to send that energy to them and it didn't seem to work. No, that's you have to continually keep doing it, because the more of us do that, the more it's going to work. Okay? We have the Hierophant. So that's the world. So in turn, when we focus on these little people, okay, when we focus on, for the light workers, using your light to bring love into these little people, and for the dark workers to use your dark to bring a fear of causing harm to these little people, that in turn will infect the people above them who are in between the emperor and these like pages, right? So this is a very dark message. I know not everybody's going to love it, but this is really what I'm getting, really. And this is what I've been getting a long time, but I didn't really know what I was hearing, because I was like, well, that couldn't be, because that can't be right, because people say this and this and this. This is a different time. And again, this is all in the name of love. And this all in the name of preserving life, every life, for reducing violence in every way, and using energy to fight a war of peace. We have the Lovers. So there's a few Lovers cards in this deck. So we have the Straight couple. So it's a blend of masculine and feminine energy. So we are asked to make sure that those energies are balanced within us, especially energetically. Like if you're a man and you are very like masculine, then that's fine. It's not about how you act. It's more about your energy, right? And whatever that means to you, okay? And vice versa. Page of Coins right underneath the page of the Page of Swords. Interesting. So the more you produce in this world, the more you create like physical objects of magical power. The more you create abundance for yourself, the more ease and the more love you're going to be able to feel. Because when you feel secure, you are able to, your survival instincts die down a little bit, and your true self can come alive more. Okay, it can come alive without that, but it's just, they're just saying that it's easier for us because of how we are conditioned. But they do want us to remember that none of that is necessary, that we can find peace and love within our hearts no matter what the situation. But it is definitely more difficult to conceptualize. That's not really the right word, but that's the best I can do. When we are not acquainted with that energetically and in a feeling manner, right? When we just have the idea behind it. So they're asking us to really get a feel of energy right now, and not just conceptualizing things. You hear my words, but I want you to feel what they represent. That's kind of what they're saying. We have the Three of Swords. So for me right now, this means healing, because it's underneath the world and the Hierophant. So using your powers to manifest physical things for healing of the world. So, and also sending if you have extra money, sending it to charities that resonate with you, which are whose goal and aim is to reduce killings, reduce violence, and reducing hate, prejudice, and things like that in the world. So I might try to do just a few minutes of channeling. I almost feel like I got the messages that I need to get. But let's see. I call upon my spirit guides to channel through me any messages from any high vibrational beings, including the Pleaidians, the Arcturians. Any important messages that they might need to transfer to us now. I invite them to come through, and I allow them to come through. 4 years ago, we saw the first inklings of the third path, the middle path, but we did not expect this path to come into being. We have already told you about the left path and the right path, but the middle path is a particularly difficult one that we do not anticipate you ending up down, but one that is important to be aware of, because we are not all-knowing, we are not omniscient, but we do have a wider perspective, so we can see many possible futures that humans cannot with their brains, with their air energy. We want you to know that you are protected at this moment. You may feel afraid, or you may have just put back the fear into the far reaches of your mind because you did not want to deal with it, and that is perfectly acceptable. For others of you, you have learned how to handle the fear, how to face the fear, how to bring the fear close to you and embrace it, how to transform it this way into something sort of like love, but with a sharper edge. This is important to understand, to recognize, and to learn to do. So we ask you now, if you have been facing fear, not just any fear, but a sort of fear of existential dread. This fear is not your doing. This fear does not come from within you. This fear is caused by dark magicians, by dark forces within this universe, not just on your planet, but those outside of your planet who do want you to go down the right path, which again is the incorrect path. Those who want you to go down the middle path, which again is the incorrect path. We, the Pleaidians, the Arcturians, the Lyrians, want you to go down the left path. We understand that there is a point, a coloring of fear at the beginning of this path, but we ask you to remember that it will not last, and it will reveal the most wonderful possible fate of the human race for the next century. If you can choose, if you can find ease within yourself, if you can find love within yourself, if you can balance the darkness and the light, if you can identify your gifts of light, dark, or both, you will send the human race down the correct path. Identify your gifts and use them appropriately. Never use them to do petty acts of senseless cruelty. Always use them in order to better the human race, whether you have dark gifts, light gifts, or both. You are asked to always let your motivation be love, whether that be love of yourself for protection or love of others, but let that love be genuine. Never narcissistic love, never a selfish love, never a love that is of physical nature, but a spiritual love that preserves life, that preserves love, that preserves the light within each of us, because light and dark are still light. There is still always light within you. Your gifts are so important, and they are especially important now. Use them to influence the right people who influence this world, because without you, this world will go down a path of darkness. Remember that no matter what path you go down, the light is at the end. You will be prosperous in the end. But do you want to go down a path which is filled with turmoil, or a path which is easy and filled with progression, evolution, and excitement? We think the answer is obvious. We thank you for listening to us, and we ask that you do not have fear from our words, because there is nothing to fear. We know that if you follow our instructions, the world will become a better place for you and for all those around you. The virility that we ask you to create from your light, from your love, from your ease, will cause the wave of love which treats the world of the cancer that it has developed. The climate will not change in a way in too short of a time for you to treat this cancer either. There will be new information coming out about this shortly, although it is very intensely intending to be hidden by the forces that be. There is a point at which the climate could reach catastrophe, and there is already going to be many catastrophes because of it in the future, but we do urge you to remember that you have not reached the breaking point, and we do not believe that you will. Even down 2 of 3 paths, you will not reach this breaking point. Yes, even down the right path, the incorrect path, there will be a time where the climate disaster is stopped before it is too late. This is the middle path, the path where the climate is not given the attention it deserves, and the second cancer is never treated. In this case, it will take very long for your species to recover. However, they will, by finding habitats in strange places. Again, we encourage you to love yourselves, to love those around you, to protect yourselves, and to use your influence for the ultimate good. We thank you again. Thank you, guides. Thank you, Arcturians. Thank you, Pleaidians. Thank you, Lyrians. Um, so you might notice that my channeling is a little choppy. I think I've explained this, but this is new for me. So sometimes it's like three sentences are coming through, and I get real. There's like a stopgap. Okay. So I just want y'all to realize that this sounds. I know it sounds scary, but it's really, if you can feel into it, you'll realize that we have a way better chance to succeeding than than you might think from this. The only reason they're bringing this to our attention is because there is a chance that we won't. But there's things are looking up. Things are looking up, despite the fact that this third path has come up. Things are looking up. So try to remember the tarot message that our calm and our ease is the ultimate fix for everything. Okay. So thanks for watching. Love you.